Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Hayya ala salat. Hayya ala salat. Hayya ala falah. Hayya ala falah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah alladzi khalaqa as-samawati wal arda wa ja'ala zulmatan wa nura. Thumma allazina kafaru bi rabbihim yas'alun. Wa sallallahu ta'ala ala rasuli khairi kaffari Muhammadin wa ala alihi washabihi ajma'in. All praise is due to Allah, Lord of all the worlds, the most great, the most supreme. He alone is who created for us, the heavens and the earth, and all that is between. He, Allah, made the heavens standing firm without any pillars that you can see. He, Allah, brings the sweet fish from the salt water. And He, Allah, changes the day with the night. And He, Allah, is the knower. He is the knower. He is the knower of everything that is hidden and what is made manifest. So what are you hiding? From whom? From Allah? He knows everything. He knows your thoughts even before they come into your mind. He knows them because you draw them by your actions. And He changes the day with the night. Nothing remains the same forever. Nothing remains the same forever. And Allah reminds us every day of that, Every day Allah shows us the phenomenon of night and day. It changes, one change from a complete change from light to darkness and then light to darkness. So when you're complaining about the little difficulty you have, it will change. But how is it going to change? If there's something that you never had, then you have to do something that you never did in order to get where you want. Let me repeat that again. If there's something that you never had, then you have to do something that you never did in order to get where you want. I want to say that one more time in case you have a friend you want to send it to, or you want to remember it yourself. You need to remember it yourself. If there's something that you never had, then you have to do something that you never did in order to get where you never had. Today is Friday, the day of Jummu'ah. Allah in the Quran says, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. When the call is made to pray on Fridays, leave off your trade, leave off your business, and hasten to the remembrance of your Lord. That is best for you if you knew. If you know the best thing for you is to come to Jummu'ah, and you don't, then you don't even have the common understanding what's best for you on Friday. So leave off your trade. This is a command from Allah. Leave whatever you're doing and hasten to the remembrance of your Lord. Don't walk slow and come to the mosque. Hasten, run, drive. But come to the mosque on Friday. This is the day of gathering. This is the day that Allah made for us. Allah gave us the day before the Jews and the day before the Christians. Saturday is a Jewish holiday. Sunday is a Christian holiday. Allah gave us the day before them. We will enter paradise before them, inshallah. Today I want to read for you, I think the shortest ayah in the Quran. 3 little small verses. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. It is Al-Qawta and it says Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today have we given the fountain of abundance. Therefore to thy Lord turn in prayer and sacrifice. For he who hated thee, he will be cut off from all future hope. 3 little small verses. How did this originate? All the verses in the Quran was revealed to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, for a specific reason and for a specific purpose. This verse was revealed to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, when his son died. The only time he had a son, he died. Ibrahim, he died. And this was the son made by Miriam the Coptic. She was a Christian. And people said, well, how come the Prophet married a Christian? Yeah, well, she was a Christian, but she couldn't marry before unless she took a shahada, unless she said she believed in one God. So clear that up in your mind. A lot of us say, well, you can marry a Christian. Yeah, but what happens when you come to marry? What's the criteria for marriage? If the Imam knows what he's doing, then he must follow the Sunnah. He must follow the example of the Prophet. And the first thing is that both people should be Muslims. The first part of the marriage is that both people should be Muslims. If you leave the rules to the woman, she will make up the rules that suit herself. Women like that. And if you leave the rules to the men think they can dictate for women, so they'll make the rules to suit themselves. So what do? Since the man can't make up the rules in the marriage, and the woman can't make up the rules in the marriage, so who can make up the rules? Allah. Why? Because he made the man and he made the woman. And he's the all-wise, he's the all-just. So you're not going to make one rule for the woman that is against her and make one rule for the man that is against him. And that's why it says in the Surah Mumtahana, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, we have heard the cries of the woman concerning her husband. And I want men to learn the ayah. Allah says we have heard the prayer of the woman concerning her husband. And I want women to learn the ayah too. Because when the women complain to Allah, they say that Allah is not just. Allah don't hear them, they pray to Allah. And Allah is giving them no solution to the problem. What are they asking Allah for? Allah, the one does not take an ex-wife. Allah dismissed that. What are you asking him about that for? He didn't say that's the order of the prophet. So he dismissed that. And you think now, and I'm not answering me because my husband take an ex-wife. And then Allah said, we've heard the prayer. So all women, Allah said he have heard the prayer of the woman concerning her husband. So when you have a problem, don't harass your husband. Go and tell Allah. Allah is the owner of your husband. He could take his life, he could assault him, he could abase him, he could do whatever he wants to your husband. So tell Allah your complaint about your husband. Stop harassing your husband. Go to the maker of your husband. And you know what Allah says after? Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We have heard the prayer of the woman concerning her husband. But we hear when the man had to say to you know. One minute for yourself. Mumtahan. Allah tell him, I hear what the man saying to you know. I hear the man saying about your disobedience. I hear what the man saying about you breaking your vows. I hear the man saying about your complaints. Because Allah is not one-sided. And that's why the rules of the Shahada is first is that both people should be Muslims. First rule in the marriage, both people should be Muslim. Both people should be old enough to consent for marriage. Children can, marriage has responsibilities that go with it. A brother married a sister 2 weeks ago, and then he come back here and put out his sister 2 weeks later. 2 weeks! What she could do so wrong? She did not commit adultery, no. What she could do? So last night a brother called me and told me that brother is on the compound. I said, run him off. Don't let him walk off, you know. Don't put him off and then walk off the compound. Let's make sure that we run off. Run him off the compound. That was my order when the brother called me and told me. The brother who married the sister 2 weeks and put her out. She did not commit adultery. She did nothing but complain about his bad behavior. And he put her out. 2 weeks. And then he could come here and think he could get everything all right, I do that. No, you're uncomfortable here, you're not safe here, you're not protected here, and we don't need you here, we don't want you here. So when the brother called me last night, I repeated again, and then the Imam, the brother who put all his sisters in the compound here, I said, run him off. Make sure that he leave the compound running, not walking, but leave running. Because every week we're talking about respect for women. So the first rule is that both people should be Muslims, so you take your shahada. And both people should be old enough because responsibility goes with marriage. And then the third requirement is that mad people should not be married. It's called majnoon. The Arabic word for mad is majnoon. So if you're majnoon, if you're mad, don't come to get married. Because you're not functioning right. Because of some madmen, you know. Right behind my people everywhere. 2 weeks after the woman come back, and the man didn't know food in the house, and the man go on and smoking weed. That's what I just asked her 2 weeks ago if he was sane or not. They say yes, but he was mad. And then the next woman come to me about the man. The woman said, you know the woman did the 2 children home, Imam. You know the woman did the 2 children home and got coconuts in a party and did the children home. But then he seemed to be who told me 2 weeks before they was not mad. So the third requirement is that I have to ask you, Imam. And I know the answer before that, the brother never said, no, Imam. You're not mad, but you're mad as hell. You're real mad. You get my sister 2 weeks and brought this sister and then sister about Jersey, you ask sister about Jersey. Boy, this man so lucky that I wasn't here. You get a jersey, you get a shirt, a pants, and jockey shorts, and then after that you get something else. What is that? And you calling yourself a Muslim? Would that be you want to do to somebody's daughter? You crazy or something? And when he came to me, I told him, did you speak to the girl mother? He said no. I said, so you come here and marry this young girl, you want to talk to the parents? No. I said, man, I want to talk to the parents. Don't come here to ask me to marry and you want to talk to the parents. Go and talk to the parents, man. So he said he went, and the mother gave her permission. And 2 weeks after that, he crashed. But we could do without that. We could do without that here. And then the next requirement is the woman has to say she wants to marry the man willingly. And there's no force and there's no compulsion. That's the fourth requirement. Because in the old medieval times, men used to marry off their daughters to rich men because they have money, and the poor girl had to suffer what she liked because of this old man. The father wanted the money and marry she off. When Islam came, it stopped that. And Allah revealed the ayah, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, men cannot inherit women against their will. That's our religion. We stop all the nonsense about men just marrying off their daughter, poor little girl, to some rich old man, the man can't even walk, the evidence can't stand up in court, all kind of things, different things. And the last requirement is that the man has to give the woman unmarried a dowry. You have to give her a gift, something she asked for. So 2 young people come to me last week to get married. And after I questioned him, but I know the man. Because he married a young girl from the orphanage who ran away. And she didn't want to go back, so she married, so she didn't have to go back in the orphanage, right? And in no time, we mashed up with the girl, and the girl straightened all about, because she didn't have a home. Her parents who put her didn't want her in a home, and that's a serious thing that we need to do. We need to get for some way, we need to make some kind of provision. All these people get money, they do nothing. Provisions for these young people who do not have a home. Islam has no orphanage. Islam never had an orphanage. So this thing about we throwing our old people in the orphanage is nonsense. The Muslims have an orphanage now, where they're taking the old people and putting them, because none of the old people can look after themselves. But what about when they look after you when you could not look after yourself? What about that? When you could not look after yourself, the old people you want to put in the orphanage, they used to look after you. So the Muslims who build the orphanage, you're off. Abu Bakr said you're off, and it's been. We look after our parents until they die. My mother lived 99 years and 5 months. We never put her in a home. She made 14 children. And we know what Bushti, you know. We know what Bushti, because when I say, when you drug, say you're going to need over your house. Because everything you buy in the drug, say the side effects is so side effects. She said, you ever see a bush have side effects on it? But going to the Bushti, go like, you have to drink it? But I drink it. You know, find it really nice. I find so. And I'm feeling good too. But I drink the Bushti, you know. I drink it. Sometimes bitter. But I said sometimes you like something that is not good for you. And sometimes you like a thing that is good for you. You dislike a thing that's good for you. But you like a thing that ain't good for you. So bring the Bushti now. Bring the little Bushti. Get it you a little Bushti. Boil the white sorrel, and get it you to drink it. Get rid of the worms. You don't need to buy no worms, no drugstore for no worms. That is a simple thing. Blend up an aloes, parsley, and garlic. Drink it. I drink it every week. That's too much. All the worms gone. You know, you look nice like me and nice. You're better. You know, you get sick every minute, you're sick and you can't walk and you can't walk. That related to the question I walk. I'm sorry I mentioned I would walk. If I'm really disappointed with the men in this community, when did I really disappointed? I'm really disappointed. Because you come in here and you see what doing and you just fasting and you're whistling. No whistling, you're doing this, you know. And this community was not built on rock and roll, you know. It was made by sacrifice. Blood and sacrifice. This community built on blood and sacrifice. And everybody who tried to destroy it, dead and born. Where I don't know, and I don't want to say where they're born, but we're still alive. Every government that came tried to destroy us. But this is not belonging to us. This belongs to Allah. You have an attitude of non-participation. Non-participation. And I'm going to show you what I mean by non-participation, because when you give me salam, I'm not going to talk to you. For 54 days I'll come to you. In your friend, I ain't talk to you for 50 days. Salam alaikum, Imam, and I ain't talk to you. I'm practicing the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So don't talk to me. If you're coming, you do not walk here, just walking up and down, and you're walking up and down, and you're nothing. I am not, don't give me no salam. Because you give me salam, I will not answer you for 54 days. Go and read the surah. Go and read the surah about Ka'b ibn Malik and the expedition of Tabuk. Go and read it yourself. The Prophet was going on an expedition. It was a difficult task, and Ka'b ibn Malik and two others stayed back because it was hot and the grapes was ripe, and they wanted to stay back with the women. You know why? Because when you have to say the woman tell you, listen, why do you put yourself in my position? You're all your men honestly all day, but put myself or yourself in position, see how you feel. And then the dotish men, you know what I say? I mean, all you know, because some of them to here. They say, only just put all your wife in the position of the woman to see how she feels. So then only become a woman too. You know? I'm not saying the Quran, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Oh man, do not be like the woman. Be a man. Go with the eye. Every word I tell you, I say Bismillah. This is not my word, this is the word of Allah. Oh man, do not be like the woman. A man is a man. You're responsible for the affairs of women. That's what Allah said. I didn't say that. Men are in charge of the affairs of women. So when you leave a woman and you don't look after the woman, what do you think of? You ain't looking after yourself. Who will look after the woman? And then we complain they're getting raped, and then a big vigil, and women coming out saying they don't like women. And what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? When Allah mandated you, men are the protectors of women. You are in charge of the affairs of women to safeguard them. And what are you doing? You're stingy, you read back on your foot, you're expensive, wherever sneaker you spend. And you won't put $100 in there? So that somebody who husband, the amount of women that have are wrong, but not here because we try now. All you're doing all your best. Everyone on this, all you're doing all your best. And I will not accept nothing but your best. Good is not good enough if you could be better. And better is not good enough if you could be the best. And you are the best. Allah said, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We are the best of people who originate from mankind because we enjoy the good and we forbid the wrong. I didn't say that. If I'm not saying you're the best people, how you settling for less? So look at me, Imam, and I did good. I didn't put in the exam, but you failed as far as I'm concerned. Well, Imam, I did my best. That good. Good is not good enough if it could be better, and better is not good enough if it could be the best. And we have to strive to be the best people. We have to strive to be the best people, the best for our women, the best for our children, the best for the widow and the orphan. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, say, on the day of judgment, those who look after the widows and the orphan, they will be like this in me in paradise. And they put the two fingers together. They're men in jail to trust my family. Some of them, jail. They all about the place. Walking about, they wanted a better life. They saw a Muslim brother come and say, yes, so. Yes, I want to do that. Yes, I want to do that. And then in order to look after your family, what do? You're going to rob somebody. So you make him 10 years. And then you call him there outside thinking you're high wife. But you leave 2 children outside. He's a madman. How do you rob somebody to mind your children? But what you skill learners do? You learn to do something to exchange that skill for something. What do you do? And if you can't do nothing, then get a person sticking it in the ground and put 2 grain of corn in the ground. There are no mathematics, you know how to go to school to do that. Plant something. But you have to earn your living. Don't come and sit down in the mosque and make no fitna. Don't come and sit down in the mosque all day. Subhanallah, alhamdulillah, Allah. Allah, I want to hear that. The Prophet came in the mosque and asked the man, you have a family? Yes. He said, but I see you every day in the zikr. The Prophet said, take this. He said, but I am the work. The Prophet came and he said, one by an axe and chop wood. In those days, of course, they had fireside. So then one gets to just take this money, buy an axe and go and cut some wood and make some money to look after your family. Don't sit down in your way in front of sadaqah. You want to pay the sadaqah. Don't wait for the sadaqah. You are the one who want to pay the sadaqah. You have to pay the zakat. I don't know about men now, and this is what I'm talking about men. Forget what people say about us. That is not important. That's the ayat quoted. It's just three verses 1. Allah said, you know why they say that? Because the Prophet, the Arab was concerned only about his sons. They were so ignorant that they used to bury the good children in the sand, alive. And Allah said, for what sin on the day of judgment, what you will say, for what sin did they commit? Because you're ignorant. Look how ignorant these people are. You see the level of ignorance the Prophet was dealing with? People burying their good children in the sand. That's the level. A man come and pee in the mosque. And they say, castrating the person, no, you just take a shahada, give him a break until you learn the religion. And then that man subsequently become the one who used to clean the mosque. That's the level of ignorance that the Prophet used to deal with, you know, that changed these people. And today we are the masters, but we're not anymore, but we're coming back to be the masters of humanity. We were the masters of humanity. There are 1.6 billion people who are Muslims, who bear witness to Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa lahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. We bear witness. A witness is somebody who testifies. Not by tongue, you know what Jehovah Witness, not by your tongue, but by the action, you testify by action. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, they asked him, who's the best among us? He said, the one who's best is his family. And then he said, and I am the best of my family, and point on himself. Point on yourself. Ask yourself, how are you living? How are you functioning in the Jummu'ah? Did I work going on? Did I come and paint something? Did I come and sweep the yard? Did I bring a gallon of paint? Did I bring a paintbrush? How do you think all this happening? By whistling, nothing to do also? You think somebody just whistling and all this happening? And you making it happen? You making it happen? You making it happen? You making it happen? But if you're making it happen, join the line and start making it happen. But then we are no use for you. Really? Really? Ka'b ibn Malik refused to go. He and 2 others. But Ka'b ibn Malik was smart and bright. He used to teach the new shahadas. So the Prophet loved him. When they go now, one of the other men, that's the next thing. The leader have to know the men, you know. What are those sit down here? Oliver, I don't know you. I know the talkers, and I know how to do it. Everybody says money. I know you're real good. If I am a leader and I don't know my men, I wasting time. I know you. Because when work do, I just looking for and I don't see you. But you see me, you know. If I complete the mix, you see, I bend in my old back, I just mix in the cement, I carry the back, I paint it, I don't want to be done. I just don't only be here, I just participate physically. And will be fun. I mean, how the Jummu'ah must be in which one? Which one? You know, your father, your mother, and those before you can teach you nothing but organization. So you is I and I. That's why it's so easy for you to become a Rasta, because I and I. But everybody who's sitting down here, you're not the fakir. You have no I in the fakir. No I. It's us, we. In the name of Allah, the beneficent and the merciful, master of the day of judgment. Thee alone do we worship, not I worship. Thine aid alone do we seek, not I seek. You can't pray for yourself. You pray for everybody in the community. But your money is for yourself, the money is not for Allah. The money is not to give the woman who have children, who husband, or who man in jail. And this thing about marrying men in jail, don't come here with that, you know. Don't come here with that strictness, you know. Some sisters say they marry a man in jail. Well, if you're in jail, he has to maintain you, protect you, and provide for you. How are you doing that in jail? You can't run for yourself in jail, you're waiting on the junkie to bring food for him to eat. So why you marry that man who in jail? You see, all the sisters do. Listen, I'm getting vexed now. I'm getting vexed with the stupidity that's going on in the Muslim community, you know. And some people who say that Imam married them to a brother in jail. In jail? When you're in jail, you're in jail. When I go in jail, they don't declare I'm in jail. I never had a phone in jail because I don't want to talk to nobody on no phone because they're using the phone to track you down. That's why men calling me from jail. I tell them the wrong number. Look on me, when I'm in jail, I don't call nobody. Nobody said none here. But they ever said, I'm in jail and I call and I was in jail. I didn't know that. The man, I think, I'm going to send number. I said, I ain't going to jail so long, but I forget to send number. Yeah? Men need to be men. So the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, wasn't concerned. Don't forget the ridicule, forget what they say about us. Allah said to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, you know what they say? They say you don't have no sons. So they have nobody to carry on your name. So you know how they probably were the men and the sons. They said, well, when you're that? Because he had a son from Miriam, the public, and the son died, Ishmael died. So he had no sons. They said, when you're done, Muhammad, peace be upon him, when you're there, nobody carry on your name. Your daughters go marry the men and the other change your name and things like that. Although in Islam, you will keep your name. You don't know that because you don't want to come under your religion. I asked us to say yesterday about the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. You know he couldn't meet a night? No. You know his father died before he was God? No. You know his mother died when he was 6 years? No. You're Muslim. You know nothing about the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, you're Muslim. Well, Ramadan is a few weeks away, and I will sit down on there. Every evening, inshallah, from 5 to 6. So, men and women, come on, we're going to study the life of the Prophet. If you don't know your Prophet, you don't know nothing. You can't understand your religion unless you know his life, what we live. So when I don't talk to you and you read Ka'b ibn Malik did not come. The Prophet knew his men so well. After a while, they say, yeah, Prophet, you know men miss him. They say, a rider is coming in the distance. You can see the dust in the desert. The Prophet said, be Abu Zar. You can't see what it is, but he said, be Abu Zar. You know Abu Zar. He said Abu Zar was born alone, he did live alone, and he go die alone. When the rider reached, it was Abu Zar. But Ka'b ibn Malik stayed home, stayed with the woman, and the nice grapes, the dates were ripe. When the Prophet came back from the expedition, the other 2 men came and the Prophet said, why your was missing? And they tell the Prophet a lie. The Prophet said, I will do this and let's give them. When Ka'b ibn Malik came, they tell Ka'b ibn Malik, he said, we went to the Prophet and we tell him a lie. And the Prophet said, man, that's only business, I don't need it all. He said, huh? So what do you do? He said, tell him a lie. This Ka'b ibn Malik, he said, you want me to tell the Prophet a lie? You crazy or something? To lie to the Prophet. So Captain Malik, I tell the Prophet Muhammad, if you upon him, the days of life and night come by the Prophet and say, and for 54 days, he would come and fetch and sit right next to the Prophet and say, Assalamu alaikum, Ya Prophet of Allah. And the Prophet would turn his face away, not answer. I went and practice that on some order. When you want to come and do some work here, or they don't want to understand what's organization, America, 52 states, but have one place called the White House. The Soviet Union was a spreading, sprawling place, but that place called the Kremlin. And right here, that place is called the Parliament, where everybody is coming to discuss the problem. So the headquarters is where you are. You must do something to keep the headquarters up. If you don't understand that, then I'll give you a simple task. Take a stone, throw it in the middle of a pond, and you will see the ripples will spread right out. But take the stone and throw it at the end of the river, and you wait on the bank, and see if the ripples going anyway. You must have a center of gravity. And you come to talk all your day. All you little children, come back to the school. You all don't understand. Come back to the school. You only have to walk out a big beard and put him there and then start with this and this and the turban right down the back there and I turn in to make sure you see the turban and the beard put it in down end. That's it, you know, and then you walk outside with your money in your pocket and you put a red. Well, I know you dread, I know no red. You already dread once you put a red. When you put a blue, then you true. Or you like pasta to talk to like pasta. You put a red, you dread. You put a green, you mean. Put a blue and then you true. Eh? That's all you need to do because the pasta go to the left and you put on your blue. Blues. You like to sing the blues, eh? Allah. So they said to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, I have no sons. So you let a single die. Allah said, tell the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, you pray to your Lord and make sacrifice. Why are you telling to make sacrifice? Because when you sacrifice an animal, you have to share it with others. Keep praying with your Lord and sacrifice. Give to others, help others. Forget your name. I will exalt you. Allah said, I will give you the fountain of abundance. I will exalt your name. But he didn't have no sons, and he died. But which name is more prominent in the whole world than Muhammad? There nobody have no more but Muhammad. There's a brother in Nigeria. I met a brother in Nigeria. Yes, 12 sons, and all 12 named Muhammad. He said, well, how do you know the difference? They have Muhammad number 1, Muhammad number 2, Muhammad number 3, Muhammad, and until I hit Muhammad number 12. Look how much Muhammad. And that is the one who said, what about Abu Jahl, who told them that? Abu Lahab, what? Allah said, cut them off from any future hope, he cut them off. Anybody know anything care about? Anybody didn't mention Abu Jahl, Abu Lahab? But then you see people who was criticizing the uncle prophet, criticizing him. Forget those who criticize you. Allah will cut them off from any future hope. Forget them. They don't know nothing. The criticism is unfounded. They're dumb. Hear what Allah said. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Words of Allah. And that's the help. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. When comes the help of Allah and victory, and thou dost see the people running into the religion in crowds, celebrate the praise of thy Lord, and pray for his forgiveness, for Allah is all returning, most merciful. When the help of Allah comes, boy, nobody can stop it when the help comes. Nobody can stop the help of Allah when it comes. And if you have any exercise, for those of you who wear glasses, take it off and clean it. You must know the last 3 weeks the help of Allah here. You must know that. Just look around the compound and say, boy, the help of Allah is near you. Just look around and say, why are you doing, boy? You want to miss out on that? And I said, when it comes to the help of Allah, pray to your Lord and ask for forgiveness. Forgiveness for what? Because you're doing nothing. You're doing nothing to deserve the help that comes in, but you were sharing it, you know. You were sharing the help that is coming. You must know what the last 3-4 weeks were happening. Saturday I talked to the 3 doctors, the women doctors, and the 2 male doctors. You see, Imam, how are you managing this way? How are you managing this as the Nami is Allah? The Nami, of course, you want to come as Allah that put that goodness in all your hand. You know how many children here came who don't have the vaccination? Of all the people came here, maybe 1 person got tested. So the statistic they gave me is incorrect. Maybe only 1 person got tested before. A lot of people here have hypertension, high pressure. You know why your pressure high? Because you're carrying it down by walking. Start to do some work around the compound, you will see how quick your pressure will go down. And diabetes, plenty brothers, watch your blood sugar, your blood too sweet, you're a sweet man. Huh? Is that man a sweet man, boy? This man say you have to work. And look after your wife and your children. And don't talk about righteousness. Righteousness is not you and your family okay, but me and my family alright, you know, I don't know how that I put new cars and things, and me and my family alright. My looking after them. Yeah, that's not righteousness. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allah say what is righteousness. Righteousness is not turning your face to the east or turning your face to the west. A man going to make a salad and boy, you are facing the Kaaba, and I don't take that salad. How we know that? How we know? You know how we know that? Because you don't know the ayat. If you know the ayat, you will know Allah said righteousness is not turning your face to the east, not to the west. But righteousness is looking after your kid and your kid. First of all, looking after your family, your kid and your kid. And after that alone is righteousness. And I said, and looking after the wayfarer, those who have no way to live, looking after those in need, the women with the children who are no husband and in jail. All that Allah says righteousness. So you can't stop it. God look after me and my family. When you see this money, I have that. I have to do something with that. You know, when nothing is set up at once. So when you walk, you just say abracadabra. And you see how this is painted up here? Well, Kevin and I painted there. You see how nice and clean looking? You haven't put no paint. You have put nothing. You come in here and watch it. It must look nice and clean. You get cocky eyes just now. Because you're watching something where your hand no part of. Ask yourself every morning when you get up, what's the point you're doing, right? And if you realize that you're doing nothing to contribute, then you should be ashamed of yourself. Because you ask yourself, or ask me, ask yourself, how am I living? I contributed to what happened in the Jummu'ah, right? How am I living? How am I living? Ask yourself that when you finish your fajr in the morning, ask yourself, how am I living? How am I living? And you get the answer. Not from me, you get the answer from Allah. And when you tell you fix it, you know. Because you're going down there and the satya, and you're telling Allah, Surah Al-Mustaqim, show me the straight path. You're making the Fatiha, show me the straight path. And when Allah show the straight path looking after the women and children, help put mosque in and every place, put in the salah. You come back from the same salah, and you come and say, yeah. And you just actually show your iPad, you go outside with your money, you're poking your put nothing inside like a box. Tomorrow you're trying to pay the mosque, you're not coming to pay. You're trying to stop your place, you're not coming to do nothing. So what are you making salah for? You're asking Allah to show you the right way, and He show you the right way. And when He show you the right way, instead of saying Assalamu alaikum, you say, that's why you're making your salah. When you finish, after Allah will show you the straight path, and I'll show you the straight way, you say, look how you're making yourself. Imam do that. Imam doesn't make any money. And you die the way you're making the truth. Are you doing that's right? You're really good. Allah. So, when it comes to the help of Allah, we're not far. We're not far from Ramadan. We are just a couple days from Ramadan. this book changed the world forever and ever. It's not the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. This is the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. I wonder if now listen. And I hear the priest saying, that the Last Supper, Jesus broke the bread and he handed the disciples and said, this is my flesh. And then he gave them the wine and said the wine. And it's cannibals. It's cannibals that eat one another. Jesus peace be upon him, get them bread and say, so Jesus said, bread and a house bread, what kind of bread? I will eat that. What is this? Jesus' body is bread. And we in the church. And the next thing, every minute, stand, sit. The church is not gym. I know I said, I can't stand, sit down. I said, forget about it. I do not gym. And nobody in the Bible will ever see that Jesus ever said that stand, sit. And during the time this funeral was going on, the priest in my presence take 3 drinks of wine. Oh man. Huh? And we going, we drinking the blood of Jesus and putting out your tongue so. I know somebody cut off your tongue. And you're taking the blood of Jesus on your tongue. And my is so split up with so much tribulation. And I ain't no lying. Because that's what they used to colonize me. It's Christianity colonized me. And I will tell you, this is the blood of Jesus, and you eat Jesus' flesh, and you never question yourself that you're going to the church, and then you may sit, stand. Is that cheap? When I come out there, I walk about 2 months. The amount of time I have to sit and stand. Maybe that exercise, they think because they find they get too fat. The priest are not fat. You always say, "Thin priest here? Look how fat them priests is." I don't watch it myself because I've been out of function now. Next thing was now you're a priest yourself. So I don't watch it punch. But I've been doing an exercise. As my family didn't tell you, I don't like. I'm doing an exercise now. Now, we're not going to be the best people if we don't do what is best. How you do anything is how you do everything. I will say that again. How you do anything is how you do everything. So practice doing things the right way, the proper way. Practice understanding what is organization. If you don't know what is organization, then just go in the mirror and look at yourself. Your body is organized, it's not our organization. Your hand is not your foot is not your hand, your nose is. Every one of these have a different structure, a different way. But everyone, if you look at the joints, Allah made them to move. But you get the habit of laziness. Because Jesus died to save us. You're going straight there. You want to do nothing at all. Because Jesus, peace be upon him, died to save for your sin. Why you want to do so much foolishness? And the hardest thing to do is to break habit, You want to know how difficult it is to break habit? Even my right hander, try brushing your teeth with your left hand. You will see how difficult that is. And if you're left hander, try brushing your teeth with your right hand. Look at the easy thing to do. I just give an easy task. You will see how difficult it is. Because you're accustomed brushing your teeth with your right hand. The next thing you get is start brushing your teeth all at once. At times I have to put on these guys to go somewhere, and I've put on these guys. My wife says she ain't going. I go into the thing, and she says she ain't going. I'm in a oh well, this is family, then we're going to go, she ain't going. Everybody go with the wife. I say, I don't go with the wife. I ain't tell you which wife. None of my wife upstairs, none of them, they're not the one there, the one before, right? So, or they don't know what it is. Right. So, she put on her pants, I put on her pants. Now, we go down the swing function, I go and measure that, she put on her shirt. I go and touch, she put on her cap. Who is this girl? The man put on her cap. So, I said, all right. That's what you're going to ask. That's how you're going to get. That's what we're going. I said, all right. So I go back inside, and then she'll come in this one. I think she will put it on, when she dressed. I Suffer with that's nice, and a bit proper put two rubber band to hold that up just so you put it up. Yeah, and falling down. A bit up, right? They have brand new to do that, but in the end they have no brass. So take your rubber band and put it up, a teaching or everyone knows. So I put it up nice, stand up nice, yeah? And I'm good. I put some mascara. When I get myself the mascara, all by my ears. Yeah, another custom put it on, so the thing ended up quite by my ears. Yeah. The lips, when I put on the lips, they look as if I eat a whole local tree. What's it there? You know local everywhere? Well, when you look at the lip, you'll say, that man is a local tree, boy, the lip red. You sure I Dracula, brother. Just drink some blood or something. Come out, put on she shoes and I go, duck. The children was sort of big laugh. He said, what's that going on? I said, well, a man and a woman going on, and she's a man as a woman. Hear what she said? Me and going to do just like that. I said the same thing. Me and going to do just like that. You know, find and wash the face there, and everything and nice. And then I was very sad. Because I went by myself. And a friend who allowed me peace to the soul and blessing and their judgment, forgiving me sins, you know, Ishmael Bakr, in Egypt, and he used to teach me. So he said, what are you looking at? I tell him what's going on. He said, I know what's going on. He said, well, what are you killing yourself for? I said, well, what? He said, my wife. Everybody coming in for money. He said, you're a prophet? I said, no. What stupidness you asking me? I said, well, let me speak on the last prophet. He said, no, you're a prophet. You feel you're a prophet. If you're not, you feel you're a prophet. I said, no. He said, all right, I'm telling you you're a prophet. So you're a prophet, right? But prophet wife leave them. Noah wife leave him. Job wife leave him. Lot wife leave him. So who do you think you are if your wife going to leave you? And about 237 million pounds that I had on your shoulder just got dropped. The question was here, what was about 500 up? The question was 132. So I was like, what is this? What did I do? And then he said, take this and read it. Take this and read it. This you give me. Read this. This changed the world forever and ever. The wife, Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, said the prophet was a walking Quran. She said he was no flesh, no blood eater. She said the Quran, if you saw the prophet, you will see the Quran walking. Because he was living it. He was living it. So you may read that. Read them in the read. I read the ayah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Oh man, I know, this is Allah saying that, I know that your greatest desire is to please women. That's the ayah. But try as you might, you know what I say? Use all the might you have to please women, you cannot please no woman, boy. Please me, and I say, please me, and I will make them submit to you. You know what I say? Submit. Yes, I will make them do it. I will make them submit. Will you please Allah? But we will force it. I have to please my wife, boy. If I please my wife, I won't please Allah. And your wife said, you put yourself in my place and you will see how I feel. And then you put yourself in my place, you're two women living in a house. Use a prophet. The prophet wife leave them, you know. So even you know that a prophet wife leave them, then you know you can't do no harm to a woman if she leave you. You see, I understood that day then. I understood that. And after that, it was a cool breeze. The guy was really just cool like a breeze. No woman can confuse in my head again. No. Cool breeze. I know I can't please you already. I try to please Allah, and He will make you submit. I sure that. But I know I can't please you. But all of y'all listen to me. I'm pointing to everybody so you can't say, I seek Lord knowledge, so I'm going on for. Everyone now listen from their feet to please you. And I said, they can't. Please Allah, do what Allah said. Come and look at the mosque. The biggest problem that I have here, all the brothers and sisters who marry and break up here, is who don't participate. Either the man will function or the woman will function. Everybody who stay here from the beginning, from outside, they have one pipe. And when we had Eid, guess some guys said, we went to square it and go for Eid and that one pipe. And they're still here. But they have fun. But they learn the religion and they just participate. They just participated in the activity, so I keep them here. The rest, I'll get rid of them. I don't get rid of them. I'll get rid of them, because it's a dead weight. So for 54 days, Allah's Prophet Muhammad did not speak to come in the night. I'm going to practice that soon enough. If when you come here and do nothing, I'm looking around and when you're participating, when you're putting up nothing and stand up, don't give me no salam because I'm not going to answer you for 54 days. That's sunnah. In the Quran, I don't know hadith. In the Quran. And then Imam come in and make you wear everything. All the clothes, he just had one suit of clothes. He used to wash it in the night, then dry and put it on the next morning. The wife came to the Prophet Muhammad, he said, should I cook for my husband because I understand you're vexed with him? But if a woman comes to me and says that, when she go back home, blows. But that was before. If you're your wife now, and I find out, then I will show how bad I am. If you're your wife, and I find out that you hit your wife, because of that, I will show how bad I am. You're supposed to hit nobody. You're not a prophet. The prophet Christ left them. So you're supposed to hit nobody. You don't have the right to hit women, to brutalize women, in no way to be harmful for them. You're the protector. And you're the maintainer. And Allah said that men are in charge of the affairs of women. That don't, he didn't say men in charge of the affairs of your wives. So what about them women who don't treat you outside? What about them? What about the women who have what about them? How they manage it? They have no husband, their husband in jail or dead, don't hear them. And they have poor children, how they live in? But then again, I asked the sister, did you ever take me by? How long you have to send me down here? You took me by, I know. What's the by, man? They don't know. You must have known. Because you go to this mosque, you go to the next mosque, you go to the next mosque, like a chicken without a head. You're in that mosque, you're in this mosque, you're in that mosque, you don't know where it is. If you plant a tree and every day you root it up, it will never grow and bear no fruit. When you plant that tree, you have to leave it in that soil so it gets dripped, so it will go down and start to nourish itself. And sometimes it falls down, you have to prop it up. It's called a chapki. I saw pronouncing that in the English called a chapki. Where the ask us if you go in here, you go here. The tomato tree, when it falls down, you have to prop it up. So sometimes it falls down. You'll make mistakes. To break habits, you must make mistakes. Try brushing your teeth with the other hand, you will see what I'm talking about. Hard to break bad habits. So inshallah, this is our warning. Yeah? Do what you're supposed to do. Allah said, we're the best people. Let us be the best people. By example, not by words. By our example, let us be the best people. People come in and look around the place dirty. They say, cleanliness is next to godliness, and you come and place and dirty, you want to sing, you work in somebody else, and you first thing others look in your sink. You will see we have 2 days or 3 days, I ain't doing that. I said, just eat and fill. I ain't doing nothing 3 days, you have in the sink and you must sing. I just get full. Mama, just eat. This time I'm hungry to death. But 3 days you have dishes in the sink and you wash it. And I go eat from you, then you make it so. All night go to the church. Check up what is happening. This is what people say. When people come in, they say, you see a shining light. They say, a light. And people come in, and last time the prophet, people come in like crowds, just now. Just now, we have to block up this place. We have to block it up because people just running into this place like they're crazy. They will go by the cemetery, they will put a ladder to try to scale over the wall to come in here. Just now, because Allah said he helped. When comes the help of Allah, people is coming crowds. Is there nothing outside there? Nothing, nothing, nothing. No guidance, no money again, no nothing. This is his life. Don't put it out, man. Come on, put Yasin. Come put Yasin in the gas tank to keep it going, man. Come on, put me something in it. This light must not go out. People try to put it out. And then out. And this light still going. It's on you now. I was going to show them. I was going to show them. We make provisions for you now, for your children. Avail yourself of it. A lot of you come. A lot of you come for the doctors to check up on yourself. When you have hypertension, all you always come there, pressure by Imam, too much pressure, stress. But the whole last week we was here, the doctor was here from 2 to 6. 3 women and 2 men. You know, come. We will drop down just now with sugar, diabetes, you will drop down just now. So the next 3 weeks, the doctors spoke with the doctors after. They say, man, we want to thank you for giving us this opportunity to give back something and things like that. Nice young doctors. And they say they're coming back in 3 weeks' time. Some of you would have had on your record where they say you need to check up, keep a check on your blood pressure and things. So when they come next time, they see you on your phone and you know what to do, and your diabetes and things like that. Because we don't want sick people here, we want well people, inshallah. Right? And the children who did not have inoculation, I think, make sure they get the smallpox, the vaccine for the polio, and talk about the next vaccine. I'm not talking about. The children have polio and malaria and things, they have vaccines, so that make sure the children get shots. Make sure the next 3 weeks when the doctors are here, you come and you bring them. One of the young doctors said, this is cleaner than the hospital. Because they were using the 2 offices that we built up. They was impressed because they find the place, organized. We had a form, they said, nobody else we like to do that, nobody else ever invited us as a community to come and do that. So they said they come back in the next 3 weeks, so avail yourself of that opportunity. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, whenever they captured prisoners, he would say, if you teach a Muslim to read and write, he will set you free. So it's important, it's very important for you to learn to read and write. Otherwise, it's just stupidity. You're outside here and you don't know how to live, you can't compete. You went for a gun and then they go gun you down. You can't compete if you don't learn to read and write. You cannot compete. If you're working, they will rob you in your pay because you don't know how much you pay, you can't multiply 2 by 5. So we had a poster of the essay competition, inshallah, and I was very, very impressed with some of the young people. Maybe your parents help you, I don't know, but some of the young people, Nasser Felix Dupre, first prize. Ayam Purcell, second prize. Adima Bain, third prize. Khalid Andrews, fourth prize. Ahmad Lara, fifth prize. The prizes are by Sister Gail's office, and you can avail yourself of them. The essay winner, the TBA, and tomorrow is the green market, inshallah. Come out and aid and support. The security people come out and in uniforms and help direct the people to the booths and things like that, where they should go to wash their hands and things like that. Come out. But I'm going to make sure that the security is out tomorrow, properly well attired, and make sure that people know the the distances and things like that, we mark out and things like that. Let us continue. This is 5 weeks straight, people. And we're not going to stop until Ramadan, inshallah. When Ramadan reaches, inshallah, we want to make some packages, some food packages. Probably I look at my man because he can do 500. I don't know how much, but whatever it is, we want to make some packages just before Ramadan, the Friday before Ramadan, so when we give it up, so that people can't say they can't fast because they have no food in their house. Yeah? So bring whatever you could bring, drop it in the office, tins of peas, food, flour, whatever you could bring, drop it in. We can do whatever we can. And all of you could drop in. I see some fellas here who have a lot of money and things, I just put it in, randomly, money men, I see them, they're right here, I put them again, they're going down so, I see one so, right there, so, money men, whatever bring some money so we get food. Right? So we can't say we can't fast because we don't have no food. We want to make sure that the Friday before Ramadan, we give all these packages to the people, to our people and who else, so that you have something to break your fast in the morning. In the evening, we will try to organize. We put up the poster, but you know the trick. You have to take a day to feed the poor. So you put it up, people will come and collect the food. If you can't do like long ago, but we have 300, 400 people here. But we'll prepare the food here, and then people will come and collect the food, inshallah. So you know they have something to eat. So put on your name on the board. Put on the board there by next week and see any space missing. I will just take up all the space and you will get no blessing. Right? So don't do that. Inshallah. I was going to say, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى ال محمد كما صليت ابراهيم وعلى ابراهيم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى ال محمد كما باركت على ابراهيم وعلى ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد. اللهم اني ظلمت نفسي ظلما كثيرا ولا يغفر الذنوب الا انت فاغفر لي مغفره من عندك وارحمني انك انت الغفور الرحيم. ومن يطع الرسول فقد تعالى ان الله كل شيء قدير. إن ينصركم الله فلا غالب لكم وأحسنوا إن الله يحب المحسنين واستعينوا بالصبر والصلاة إن الصلاة تنهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر وأقيموا الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر